when you grow up, you have jobs and you have to make sure you get all these responsibilities out the way. So took a while, but yeah, I think it's crazy.
Yeah, we have like a tornado happening outside right now.
Just casual,
we're kind of watching
casual
it.
tornado. It might get swept away any moment,
Out of it.
but it's fine.
Welcome to the In Your Home podcast. I'm your host, Brett Rosenthal. This podcast is about real people and real homes in Philadelphia and other cities near you. As a realtor in Philadelphia, I get to see all types of homes and meet all kinds of people, and I want to share these experiences with everybody. Tons of unique homes and some amazing people is what you will hear and see. If you like what you hear, follow us on your favorite streaming platform.
Hey everyone, how are you? My name is Brett Rosenthal. Welcome to another episode of the In Your Home podcast. Today we have a special guest. This is Al Zamora.
Hello.
He's going to introduce himself to everybody.
What's going on, everybody? You kind of covered the bases, but again, I'm Al Zamora, singer-songwriter, guitarist, also barber, also Brett's barber, actually. Funny enough, yeah. Based out of here in Philadelphia from Costa Rica, so happy to be here. Thanks, Brett.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. I met Al one day when I was randomly walking down the street in Fishtown, needed a haircut, walked in, and that's how we met. Mm-hmm. Great barber.
Absolutely.
And while I was in in the barber shop, there was music in the background, and everyone there was like, "This is actually him," and I was kind of like, shocked.
As most people tend to be.
That it was coming from him because it was really good, and two, shocked that like a barber is also singing, and there was
Look, man, being a barber is a creative thing, and I just got into barbering to help facilitate that because I love it so much. But being out here, being an up and coming musician can be kind of tough.
Yeah,
for the world, but I'm doing what I love to do, using my hands, still being creative, designing my own life to be exactly how I want, wake up when I want. I control my clientele, I control everything about my life at this point, and I love it.
That's good.
Doing a lot of good things out here.
That's good. Kind of similar to being a real estate agent. There's like a lot of agents that start and like don't have any money, so they like need to do other things to make money.
Absolutely.
We actually went through that today in a team meeting. Jobs that like where you actually have to work during the day are not good for real estate because like that's when people want to do stuff.
Yeah.
But jobs you could do at night, like waitressing and stuff like that, you can still kind of do a lot. And a lot of realtors also like do this job because they want to make their own hours and the same type thing you just said.
How often do you help like younger up and coming like realtors?
So I have a real estate team, and it just so happens that almost all of them are just like younger, brand new agents. Most of them now have actually now been here like at least a year, but when they first started, they didn't know it. And I've only been doing it about 5 years, so I kind of like learned on the fly type thing.
Yeah.
So I felt like I just did it, so like I could kind of show them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have a friend from high school. His name is Anthony. I think he's with I think it's Keller Williams. If I'm not mistaken.
Probably it's millions of Keller Williams.
Yeah, I'm sure. But no, he sells homes a lot in like the Levittown area, Bristol area, and they're freaking nice. He does a good job with the social media. He's always like, showing us everything, running down all the prices, like going through every room, all the specifics about every single property that he like is showing. So he's doing good. It's nice to see like him going moving up in what he does. You know what I mean? So
does he live out that way too, or does
I'm not sure where he lives.
Yeah.
We don't talk extensively like that. It's one of those here and there, like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Type stuff. But
so
great dude.
Out in the suburbs, like there's not that many houses for sale. So when there is one, like everybody goes and gets in. The prices have been going.
Yeah.
It's a little better in the city. Like there's more houses and doesn't go up. I mean, it might again because interest rates are supposedly coming down. They did a little.
What's going on with everything? Like, why, in your opinion, why do you feel like it went up so much?
I think it went up part because like when COVID happened, it just went so down that like it was stupid how down it went, and like then our economy and the recession and stuff like that. So they had to bump it up, and now that I guess it's leveling off, it's coming down.
Okay.
I actually don't like get too involved in that, because I feel like if you like dwell on that, you like kind of like stop working, because like everyone just expects it to be horrible.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I just didn't do that last year when it was bad, and it like, I guess, worked by not worrying about it. And there's still people that were buying houses and stuff like that. So let me ask you a couple things about music. How'd you get into music?
So as a kid, I wasn't really good at much, to be honest. I was sort of I had a not weird, but unfortunate upbringing, because I spent a lot of time in the hospital because I'm a pediatric cancer survivor.
Oh wow.
So I grew up a lot in the hospitals until like 10 years old. So I wasn't really the best at sports. You can't really get at sports if you're confined to a bed. So did that for not did that. I went through that for a while. But
was that
around
in Philly?
from like I went to I got treated at St. Christopher's Hospital for Children. That's why I have this first tattoo that I have right here that I'm about to show you. It's I think you've seen it before, the apple on my arm.
Oh, yeah.
This one?
Okay. That's
That's
the logo, right?
that's the logo. So instead of like a ribbon or something,
They should pay you.
it was, hey, you heard it from him, not me. No, it was funny because I went to, it's actually right down the street from Veteran job. It's Art Machine Productions where I got it done. And that was my first tattoo back in 2015. And I remember asking the artist about how I wanted to do something to commemorate, me going through that and winning, being cured and all that stuff and being in remission. He was like, "Do you want a ribbon?" I said, "No, actually." He was like, "Oh, thank God." He was fucking tired of that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say all that, but
No, you can say whatever you want.
But yeah, he was just like, "Yeah, I'm fucking tired of ribbons." And I was like, "I get it. I figured." You know what I mean? How many people do you know that have a ribbon? For something. It just gets tiring after a while, no matter the meaning. But that aside, from in my preteen years, my teenage years, I wasn't really good at much, and I actually tried to play guitar when I was like 10.
Okay. So did I.
It failed because I had nobody to like tell me the basics.
Okay.
And I'm a person that I need to like ask a lot of questions. I need to like figure out why you're telling me this specific piece of information. That's how I was in high school, that's how I was in my 2 weeks of community college. It was a bad start because I didn't understand it because I was alone. I only had DVD lessons. So I quit for like 2 years, and then Guitar Hero came out, and I got obsessed. 'Cause I was really bad at video games, but when that came out, I was actually pretty dang good.
Is it like the same or like?
No, it's not the same at all, but it's just the emotion that it gave.
Yeah.
I was just kind of hooked on the music that it was introducing me to, the cool points for all my friends around when they were like, "Oh my God, you can play expert mode! Oh my God!" So I knew in my head, I'm like, "Damn, this feeling is gonna be gone eventually," So I figured I have the guitar, let me try to pick it up again. Fast forward 15 years later, I only had lessons for like the first 3 months just to get those super basics down, and then became hard for us to keep up with the payments of the lessons, and I just went to YouTube University after that. Just kept going, kept doing my thing, and here I am, just dreaming.
So you started
along the way.
You started on a guitar, or did you sing first?
No, I started on a guitar. I ain't sing until I was like almost 10 years into playing guitar. It was only like 6-7 years ago that I decided to try to learn how to figure out how to sing and develop my voice a ton. A lot of trial and error. A lot of it is without any formal training, but like I said, just trying to make it work however I can. So here we are.
So here you are. So now you go. You have like shows and stuff.
It was. I started playing out in the scene of Philadelphia, the music scene, about 2018, and it was like late 2018. I had gotten paid for my first ever like booking sort of thing. It was for an art gallery. They just wanted me to play guitar in the background sort of thing for like 3 hours. They were only going to pay me $100. So, and in high school, one of my classmates, boyfriend at the time, was a really talented piano player.
Okay.
And he was the only other musician that I knew at the time. So I hit her up to see if he would be interested in joining so we could split the cost. I just wanted to play some good music with other people, you know, and make connections. And he agreed, and I went to his place, and while we were practicing and rehearsing at his spot, he had a friend who was there who was also a drummer.
Okay.
He heard us playing and wanted to join. And I told him I couldn't pay him, but he still wanted to do it anyway. So at this point, I had keys and drums, and I had been trying to talk to this one guy on Instagram who's a bassist here in Philly.
Okay.
And he just kept leaving me on red. Just ignoring the shit out of me. And for months, I just kept trying just because I knew eventually maybe he'll answer, you know. And I said, fuck it, let me just try to shot in the dark. Let me see if he'll answer this time. And he did. So before I knew it, I had a whole band from my first ever gig.
Okay.
And we rocked that place for like 3 hours, and then videos got out, and then I started getting introduced to a lot more people. So 2018 was just more like the introduction thing. 2019 was when I had met a bunch of people who were actually offering me different showcases here and there. I did a lot of performances in 2019, and then 2020, at the top of 2020, I was in talks to go and open up for people on like small tours in the area. Things were kind of looking good, the momentum was going, and then,
COVID.
Everything just fucking crashed and blew up. But so working back from that, 2020 was just a lot of positives inside of all of that negative, because I was able to actually hone my craft more than I ever was able to in my adult life.
Mm-hmm.
I had all the time in the world when I was a kid to practice like 10, 12 hours a day. But when you grow up, you have jobs, and you have to make sure you get all these responsibilities out the way. So it took a while, but I think it's crazy.
Yeah, we have like a tornado happening outside right now.
Casual,
we're kind of watching
casual tornado. It might get swept away anymore.
Out of it.
But it's fine. But no, I forgot where I even was, to be honest.
When you started, you kind of went through.
Yeah. So 2020, I kept working on my craft, trying to get better.
Yeah.
And then 2021 is when I did one show. I only did like 2 or 3 shows in that year, because things started to come back.
Yeah.
Regulations were starting to be lifted. 2022, I actually decided to go to school. So I didn't really have much of anything in 2022. It was mostly just going to school. Finished that, and now 2023 is when I did the most shows I think I've ever done in a year so far. If I'm not mistaken, it was about probably like 50-ish shows. So if you average that out, it's like a show a week.
Philly or?
No, it was a lot of them were in Philly, but actually most of them were in DC and New York.
Okay.
Funny enough how that works. Had to do a lot of traveling this year. A lot of gas, a lot of oil changes. But
so when you go, is it just you, or you bring other people?
A lot of times it could be just me, because it depends on the budget. It depends if I could bring someone, if the pay is right or not. But it's either usually just me, or I bring along my manager, Medina. Yeah.
So I found your music on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
How does it get up there?
Well, I mean,
is it free, or do you have to pay to get it?
Now, there are distribution sites that help you do that. You have to set up, your whole profile and everything like that. But and they have specific guidelines on what you need in order to upload any specific track, whether it be a single or an EP or a full album. There's different things about that, but it's not too hard. It's not that bad, actually. You just have to have a system, a computer, producer, know how to get the right files, and then just pay I use DistroKid. That's a very popular one. There are different things like a Muse that I've also used that I thought was good. But it's usually just you pay like a one-time fee for the year, and then you can upload as much as you want, sort of thing. Yeah.
So what's it go to? Spotify, Apple Music?
It goes to a bunch of stores. Yeah. Spotify, Apple Music, most like YouTube Music.
Do you get paid for them?
Yeah, I mean, streaming in terms of like music is not that lucrative, to be honest. You I think Spotify per stream you only get like 0.00001 cents.
Is that for anyone, or
it's just streams in general.
Taylor Swift gets the same amount that you would?
Yeah, but
she gets a lot more streaming.
She gets millions and billions of streams. So I know a lot of artists, they get most of their money from touring, actually.
Yeah.
Shows are a big thing, and, you know, merch and stuff like that, you know. Music sales is kind of like, you don't count on that to put food on your table, sort of thing. But it could be passive income for sure, you know what I mean? So it all comes together. It's like any sort of, I guess, entrepreneur. I think most entrepreneurs that I know don't have just one source of income. So
who would you say your music's like the most? Like anyone like?
Well, I mean,
or who do you like?
Okay, so when I started playing guitar, I was very influenced by a lot of like music that I would hear on like Guitar Hero. So whether that be like Guns N' Roses, Black Sabbath. I was huge fan of Ozzy Osbourne. I actually met him back in the day.
Okay.
He when Borders was a thing.
I remember that.
He did he wrote a book in like 2010, 2011.
Okay.
And I bought the book. I waited in line for like 3 hours just to meet him and shook his hand for like 2 seconds and left and cried. Listen, I'm an emotional guy, okay? But I didn't even understand what he said. Honestly, I was just like, it was just like, and just kept going. You know, they just told me keep moving, keep moving.
Was it in Philly, Borders?
It was in Philly. Yeah, it was the one right there on Broad Street.
I remember.
Yeah. But I still have the book.
Like the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, I still got the book. Obviously, I have his signature and all that. I read the book. He's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that. That's a very good book. It's called I Am Ozzy. Super great book.
Yeah.
Really a lot of detailed descriptions about all the things that he did on tour with other bands, like touring with Motley Crue. Those two combinations back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Insane. But no, yeah. He when I started off listening to music, he was a big influence, and a lot of his guitarists were big influences on me. Randy Rhoads, Zakk Wylde was a huge one for me, and also other bands like Pantera. Pantera was a big influence because of Dimebag Darrell. That's his name. I know.
I remember he died.
Dimebag Darrell, he died on stage in 2004. But no, yeah, that was the start of most of my influences, and then maybe around like 2012, 13ish is when I got influenced with R&B, more folky stuff, and I started seeing like people like John Mayer, another big influence on me, because I started seeing how like you can be a guitar player that's really great and also sing songs that are very great. Because on the come up with metal bands and classic rock bands, guitar players is on the side doing this thing usually, and you got the singer in the front, obviously, you know. But R&B and like blues taught me that you could kind of do both, like really finesse it and really be the highlight sort of thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to be, because I figured that's one of the only things that I thought I was good at as a kid. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not really good at sports. I'm kind of like not good with being in crowds and stuff like that, you know, because usually I'm assuming it's because of the upbringing and not being around a lot of normal things growing up.
So we made it. You were in the hospitals like till 10?
Yeah, because you had to get even when you were in remission, you still had to get like checkups all the time, just to make sure. Because a lot of kids that I know have gone in remission and then relapsed maybe a year or two after, and then that's when they, you know.
Yeah.
So I still think about them all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of friends that I've known have passed on because of all that, or because of that specific situation. Yeah, it's tough, man. But
so what made you, or when did you go into cutting hair?
2021 is when it happened, because I was leading jobs left and right, and I kind of fell into pretty bad depression sort of thing, I would say. You know, it was just a lot of not understanding why things couldn't be normal, me kind of missing life pre-COVID with me making a lot of money, going everywhere, playing music a lot, you know, so it was just kind of like wondering when the fuck this shit is gonna end.
Right.
Yeah.
And now.
Yeah. So during that year, I just kind of decided I wanted to change up my life. And actually, I sat down with my barber because I only had like $100 to my name at the time. And I went to my barber and I had to pay him like literally half of that. So I'm just like, geez, you know, like this sucks that I have to fucking shell out half of my money. And then, when you're good and you have money coming in and your barber tells you, I have like 13 people to cut today. You don't think about it much, until you're in that scenario where you're like, I'm only giving you $50. This is all I have left, like this is,
all right.
And then you start thinking like, oh, you're making 13 times what I'm giving you in a day. And I've been getting my haircut, or I was getting my haircut with him for a long time. So I knew his lifestyle, how easy it was, how like carefree it was, how like relaxed it was, how he was able to take days off whenever he wanted to, go on vacation whenever he wanted to. Mm-hmm. He was able to just be with his friends all day, talk to people like normal,
Mm-hmm. Did he own the place?
He did. He does own the place. Shout out Fernando.
Does he still cut your hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and then. Usually now it's mostly my coworkers that cut my hair instead of traveling all the way to his shop, and because he works out of Bristol.
Okay.
Out of Bristol, so I don't go over there all the time, especially when I got two barbers next to me who can do it pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, 2021 is when I decided I'm gonna go into that and kind of formulate everything to set up, because I knew the restrictions were going to be lifted eventually, and things were going to start changing. And I started, when I went to school for it and everything like that, 2021, 2022 is when I was in school. I saw a lot of my peers who were kind of in that same scenario where COVID kind of just forced them into this, because they were like, they were looking like trash.
Yeah.
They were looking horrible. Nobody got haircuts for months.
That's right. I did my own.
Remember that? Yeah. So I remember I feel like that's when people started realizing how important it is to
get a haircut.
To get a freaking haircut.
Yeah, I screwed mine.
The little things I don't appreciate until you can't have them anymore. So I feel like that's when a lot of the culture had like changed.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I remember.
Yeah.
It changing to. And a lot of my instructors telling me about their experiences pre and post COVID, so, that's when I got into it, and I just decided that I'm going to do it for me. It's going to be a life that I want. I'm tired of answering to people. I'm tired of asking another adult for a day off of my own life. That's just kind of what made sense.
That's what I did. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, I want to live my life how I want to. So who are you? Like,
yeah.
Because
once you do it, you can't ever go back. Yeah.
I don't think I would. I don't think I can see myself going back at all. Plus, it's recession proof. People are always gonna need a haircut.
That's true. That is true.
So,
so how long have you lived in Philadelphia?
Well, I was born in Costa Rica in 1995. I was only there for 7 months until me and my family came here in 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
To Philly?
Right to Philly. Yep. It was either because my mom was raised in Costa Rica, but she spent a lot of time out in LA with her family growing up. She spent, I think it was like 10 to like 15, 16 that she was there. So she came back to Costa Rica, and my dad's family was kind of here in Philly, here and there.
Okay.
So they both kind of went back. They went back and forth, periodically throughout their lives to Philly and to LA, but when it was decided where they want to raise a family, they decided Philly. So I could have been in LA, man. It's just
I would have wanted LA too.
I don't know,
but I like it here.
I love Philly.
Yeah.
I love where I've grown up.
Yeah. So where in Philly do you live?
I live in the Northeast.
Okay.
Northeast, Tacony, Mayfair. Area.
I was just there yesterday listing a house.
Nice.
Mayfair.
How much is it for?
200. Well, they're asking 269,000.
Okay.
Might be a little high, but it's close.
And how does the house look?
Fair, like good shape, but not modern, and
gotcha.
it needs some upgrades. Yeah.
Okay.
But like where it is, and this happens with real estate. If there's like no other houses for sale in that particular neighborhood, and someone wants to live in that neighborhood, they're gonna pay more. And there is there's one other house, and that one's horrible, and it's the same price.
Okay.
So I think it'll probably sell pretty high and quick.
Awesome.
So that's good. I gotta go back tomorrow and get pictures and
What's the process like when you want to list a house? Like, how long does it usually? I know like some houses could probably be listed for a long time, but like, what's the average?
So the average is like changed because like back a couple of years ago. So for me, when COVID happened, everybody thought nobody was ever going to buy a house. And I don't even think we were supposed to work, but I just never stopped. And for me, it was like the best time ever. And not just me. Then a lot of the realtors who did actually work, it became like the best time ever to sell houses, and houses were selling within days. And then even for like a year and a half, 2 years after that, they still were just selling quick. If it was priced right, like a good house, within 2 weeks would sell. Now, like then the interest rates, mortgage rates went up over the last year. And I'd say still though, if it's like priced right, a month, sometimes quicker. In the suburbs, like they still go within days because there's just not many houses out there.
Gotcha.
I don't know, but hopefully that one I'm telling you about, like within 2 weeks, I think it'll sell.
And do you feel like there's a lot of people wanting to live in that area? You said there are people that want to live in that area?
Yeah, supposedly the people that are selling it are getting like notes daily from people who like live or relatives in the neighborhood that like already say they want to buy it before they even knew that they were selling it.
Yeah.
So I think so. And those people are, they're taking the money, they have an RV, and they're just like traveling the rest of their life, like on to the continent.
I mean, I thought about that too. You know, I think about what do I want to purchase with like the first big purchase in terms of real estate. Because now that I'm a barber, I'm thinking of investing in, you know, some sort of commercial real estate in the future to, you know, open up a shop that could also be converted into other things. You know what I mean? Or just a place that could be very sleek, professional looking. But, you know, I also want to buy a house one day. So I'm kind of like maybe a duplex, maybe one of these, maybe just kind of weighing my options now that I can see the plan kind of laid out, you know.
They're all smart ideas.
Yeah, it's probably something I'm gonna have to sacrifice at first. Yeah, until I can figure more stuff out. But who knows? I'm releasing my first full-length EP this year.
Oh, yeah?
So
this year?
Yeah, and probably early April or late March is gonna be the first time I'm gonna release a project. This is like 7 years in the making type thing. You know what I mean? I've been, like I said, developing for a long time, trying to get the songs out, my voice to a certain degree, my skills up just all around, you know. So definitely feel like we're at a place right now where I have the connections, the people to really drive it along. And and I'm just excited for more shows that we're going to be doing. We're planning on traveling a lot to places like Miami. I just came from Miami. I forgot about that. Last year I was doing I did Miami for like the last show of the year in December.
This December.
This last month. Yeah, at the top of the month I went out to Miami for the last show. Great time. Yeah, great time out there. Kind of felt like a rock star type stuff. I went there for literally a day, played a show, ate some good food, went right to the airport, came home. It was just kind of like off business.
I was like near Miami last week actually for a few days and didn't want to come back. But usually I go to Florida for like a week and I'm like ready to come back. But it was like, now we have a tornado. But they have, supposedly I think they're having one too. So
it's tornadoes for everybody.
Yeah, everyone's
tornado. You get a tornado. Everybody.
Yeah.
Mother Nature doesn't spare anyone.
Yeah. So what do you like about Philadelphia?
What do I like about Philadelphia? The art. And I know it's kind of cliche, but I feel like Philly has a really rich artistic community. A lot of talent has come out of Philly. And honestly, I feel like having the influences around me made me better. You know? Knowing the standard of what is usually brought out here. Knowing since I feel like since I was young, I was kind of realistic with myself and what I can do, what I can't do. You know what I mean? I was always very hesitant on what I can try, and maybe that had to do with growing up and not being the most confident with myself. But, you know, you learn as you age and all that stuff. But, I just kind of when I felt like I had to go kind of deep into anything I was learning and practice my ass off, because so many people around me just seem to like it just be so natural for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's like you see the list of people who came out of Philly, and it's like very extensive. You know?
Yeah.
And then the people and the songs that were written here, even like some of the studios that I played in over the years, I've seen all the records that have been made, whether it be from Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Boys, all the, you know, obviously Boys to Men, they're from here, Joe Scott, so many, Hall & Oates, so many influences out here that are just like legendary, you know? And it's kind of what I love, all the murals that are out here in Philly.
Yeah.
My manager, she's also a manager for Mural Arts as well. So she also does a bunch of different events for them.
Okay.
And she's always out here helping out the community, helping out the artistic people out here to just give them money in their pockets to keep doing what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was telling me today that even with her own business, because she's also a booking agent, she does a lot of stuff, you know? I mean, she's kind of everywhere. She surpassed more than, like, she wasn't even a quarter way through, and she was already past $25,000 like dollars that she gave, that not that she gave out, but that she got people.
For people.
You know, so it's kind of just like she's doing big things, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a great team behind me. Yeah, so that's what I love about Philly. All the people that are in it, who are dedicated, who have a strong nose will to make shit happen, you know. And I feel like that's kind of the energy that I need around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like since I was young, I feel like nothing was impossible. I've always been a dreamer, always. So growing up, seeing things kind of happen because of the people and the influences around me, and also my own determination to be as best as I can be. Because I felt like that was the only thing I was good at. You know, I was like, shit, it's the only thing I'm good at. Got to be great. You know. Yeah, that's mostly what I love about Philly. It's rich if you really dive into it and you really check people out here.
Yeah.
A lot of great talent out here.
Yeah.
So many people in Maine right now that are just local, you know? It's incredible.
How'd you find the manager?
So actually, she and I, she had her first event in 2020, right before the pandemic. She had other people that knew more people, so she kind of trusted them to be like, you send me people. I was sent to them, or I was sent to her, and she didn't even know who I was when I pulled up and I performed. But she kind of kept my name in you know, her book of contacts, and then you know, COVID happened, kind of lost touch after a while. Reconnected not 2023, 2022 summer. And then from there, that's when she informed me that she you know, has made a good list of clients or like connections to help with booking and stuff like that. So she got me a bunch of shows from the summer team until the end. And then at the start of 2023 is when she asked that I could be her artist. I'm the only person that she manages as an artist. So yeah, she wanted to take that on, and it's been great. It's been a lot of, like I said, last year was my best year in terms of like doing shows and making music and putting music out there and making plans. I'm a very laid back guy. I'm a very just kind of like, you know, it is what it is. That's why I became a barber, because I you know, don't like to be structured as much, you know.
Yeah.
Because music, it's never structured. I can't tell you I write songs the same way every time. Some songs take that I've written have taken a month, maybe a day. Some songs take a couple years. So it's never like one formulated way to be. So being a musician, being an artist, I have to be flexible. I have to let my mind just kind of do its own thing whenever it arises. I know when I have writer's block, I don't, you know, it sucks, but I don't ever stress it, because I know it's just, my brain just doesn't want to do it right now. I don't think about like when or like if I'll write another song. It's when, you know, like I know it's going to happen eventually. It's going to, you know, just got to be in it, be involved in it, and it'll come up eventually. Things just kind of spark, and then your brain just kind of tells you like, it's time. Let's pull out the pen, you know, so.
So like with real estate, I feel like it's the same thing. Like with real estate, there's a majority of agents that like think there's like one way to do everything. And in my opinion, that's not the right way, because every person that you deal with is different. And like, you kind of just have to be flexible and like figure out ways to work with different people and not do the same thing each time, because it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you can't have the same formula with that's with barbering too. As you know, I do hot towels for every service. But there are times when people don't feel comfortable with that. Yeah. And then they're just rather me not do it. And I'm just like, it's usually enjoyable for a bunch of people. I usually tell them, I guess you don't like to relax. That's fine. That's cool. No problem. Whatever.
There are people that don't like to relax, I guess.
What can you do?
Man, no.
What can you do? No, but I just, go through and just don't take it personal. Just be like, all right, well, I guess that's less time that I got to spend on you, I guess, But no, there's no one way to do anything, I guess. Especially as an entrepreneur, I feel like any job that requires you to be your own boss, you have to kind of figure out ways to make shit work most of the time in different ways.
Yeah.
It's not one way to do anything, as you know, like you said.
I agree. And like, to me, like the more different you are, sometimes works better than the typical. I mean, I don't know.
Sometimes it works less.
It could.
It could, because like you said, there's a demographic for everybody at every person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are artists that I just don't like because I just feel like they're too loud.
Yeah.
Or just like too rambunctious. I haven't used that word in a long time. I brought that out just for the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I can't really rambunctious. That's funny. No, but but there are a bunch of people who do like that. So it's kind of
you get both.
Yeah, you get both. That's why I don't stress when people don't like the music, or if they do, because it's like you can't please everybody. Can't please everybody. Just with a house, you show somebody a house, they're gonna be like, "This is everything I've been looking for." Some people will be like, "This fucking sucks."
Yeah, I tell everyone, like, when agents go out to showings, I've seen so many people do this. And like, they take them to a house and it might have like floors like this, and like the agent will be like, "These floors are beautiful." And I always tell them, don't do that, because then like someone might say, "I actually hate these color floors," and it like backfires. And I'm like, just let them
tell you how
answer any questions they have, but don't say the kitchen's gorgeous and they go, "I hate white kitchens."
I fucking hate that green.
Yeah. So like, I know not to do that anymore. Is there anything you don't like about Philadelphia?
Can I say the potholes? Potholes. I feel like my tire. I know that's kind of cliche, but I genuinely feel like my tire needs to be rotated
often,
because it just fucking sucks. I just feel like you never know where they're gonna come from.
Or now,
why is there always construction? Nothing ever gets fixed. I don't understand. What are they?
Takes a while.
There's a lot of potholes. Well, I mean, other than that, I would like some more late night eats. I went to Miami. When I went to Miami, I was very surprised at how late those places stay open. Like I got fried chicken at like 4:30 a.m.
Can't do that here.
Can't do that shit here.
I agree.
That was clutch.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the bars and restaurants too here close even earlier than they like used to before COVID.
No, I went on a date back in the summertime, and it was only like 12:30. So I'm like, I'm telling, let's get a drink. Go to a bar, they're like closed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like 1.
Even the ones that say 12, like if you walk in at 11, they're like,
"What are you doing here?"
Yeah, they don't want you there.
What?
And there's some places, but there's a ton that it's hard.
Me and her left confused.
Especially in this neighborhood. This neighborhood's not.
Oh yeah, she was confused. The date I was with, she was like, "It's not even fucking 1 o'clock." I'm like, "That's what I'm saying." Thankfully, we both weren't huge drinkers, so we didn't care that much. But it was just more of a place to go,
Yeah. What's like your favorite place or places to go to, whether it's like a bar, a restaurant, a thing to do in Philly?
Honestly, I'm big on saving, so I don't like to do too much out here, at least right now. But when I do decide to go out, it's usually to see some live music. I'm a musician. I like to show support. It's all I also take it as a networking opportunity. Anytime I'm out. But yeah, a lot of places with like sofars. Sofars are really cool to go to. You meet new people every time. It's very low key, kind of how I like. I don't really like bars or clubs. I'm the type to wear earplugs in like loud bars, or like clubs. Because I don't like yelling at people trying to talk to them. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I've never understood trying to meet someone or like get to know someone at a club. Hey, how you doing? Right in their ear, all hot. Yeah. Smells like alcohol. I'm good, man. It's not for me. But yeah, I like more low key places, lounges. Yeah, because so far they do it in like random locations, so it's never in like one specific spot.
Okay.
But some of my favorite places to go to so far would be like a distillery, like New Liberty Distillery around here. Actually, they do pretty cool shows out there. Co-working spaces that are around here. It's
They do them there?
Yeah, they like sofars are kind of everywhere.
Okay.
They do them all throughout the Philadelphia area, in like backyards. Like I said, bars. They do co-working spaces. They do random office spaces in Center City. So it's kind of like wherever a space or a business is willing to host one, they'll do one. They could do one right here if the building wanted to do it. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel like it's more of who I'm with or what I'm doing more than like the places. But yeah, I mean, other than that, just like small low key restaurants. I like tacos, South Philly. Great tacos down there. My guy Javier has a great truck on 10th and McKean.
Truck?
Yeah. Katrina's Cantina. I swear to God, I swear by this guy. I don't trust anyone else. I don't go anywhere else.
Really good.
Javier is my guy. It's just because I've seen the growth.
Yeah.
I've seen the growth from when he first started opening that truck, and it was like a small, like rundown truck. Tacos were amazing.
Yeah.
I was kind of floored. I thought maybe I caught him on a good day, so I went back the next day. That was my excuse to go back the next day. Got it again, and it was still amazing.
Yeah.
So then I just kept telling everybody. He just never misses, for me at least. But they also do like a lot of pastries. They have like homemade drinks that they do. It's a whole family affair. And I'm not too big on like Americanized Mexican, to be honest. I need them to not speak that well of English, That's how I know it's gonna hit. That's how I know it's gonna hit. Javier's the man, They have their daughter in the back on the iPad. Clutch. That's how you know it's legit. I'm telling you, dude.
A lot of like the restaurant owners, when they have a kid playing with the iPad.
If it's Mexican or any type of Spanish, at least, there are just certain things that me being a Hispanic male myself, I know and I can acknowledge why that is or what they're doing. That's just hard work. That's just them being hard workers.
Yeah,
they're just like, I don't care, like what my kid has to do. You're gonna come to work with me. You're gonna understand how hard I work. You're gonna see what I do. It raises you with a sense of like pride, I guess. I saw my dad grow up. He wasn't a taco maker or anything like that, or he wasn't doing any sort of like food related work, but just seeing how hard he worked throughout my life kind of gave me an appreciation for what it takes to live out here, which is why. And he's also self-employed too. Yeah. So I've never seen him. I guess I get that from him, where I don't want to be under anybody, because he's the last person to have anybody tell him what the fuck to do. He's like, this is my life, in my terms, type stuff. And I just kind of took that and run. Yeah. My dad's a professional painter, actually. So I think I get all my artistic stuff from him. My mom didn't give me shit. I love her though. Love her to death.
Nothing passed on though.
Nothing passed on. Yeah, just a little bit of the face. That's it. She's a beautiful woman. So
that's good.
You get this.
That's good. All right, last question. So if you had to live anywhere else outside of Philadelphia, what city or country would you pick?
There's a lot of places I want to visit.
Yeah.
Before I can definitely make that decision. So far, besides Philadelphia, places I've been to have been Denver, great. New York, DC, Miami. Nothing into. I almost went out to California. Almost went out to Texas. Both things didn't work out.
Okay.
Overseas, I went to Costa Rica. I'm from there, and been there a few times since. London and Italy.
Okay.
And I think out of my favorites of those that I saw, I felt most relaxed in Denver, but I felt like I was experiencing a lot more in London and Italy, obviously. I think I would prefer London, to be honest, just because it felt more like I'm a city boy at heart, you know what I mean? And in Italy, we went to a lot in like the countrysides and all that stuff to see more stuff like Rome. But yeah, I'm a city boy, so I think London was definitely more appealing to me personally. So I thought about moving to London one day, but maybe domestically here in the United States. Denver seems pretty cool. They have a great music scene. I was thinking about maybe Nashville because I feel like it would fit my style of music a lot more.
Just in Nashville for the first time ever.
How do you feel about it?
It was not as like big as I thought, but the actual bars where they play the live music was pretty cool. Like you just keep walking through them and they're...
Denver was so trusting. It was weird because when I went out there and I saw this guy playing music on the street, at this point I didn't play for almost a week. So, you know, as a musician, you do something every day. You want to do it here, you know? So I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I give you like $5 to just play like one song? Just like to play a little bit. He's like, yeah, sure. So he gave me the guitar, gave him the money, and I was playing, and he had his whole bucket of money right in front of me, and he was like, hey, just watch my stuff. I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. I'm like, don't you want to take the money with you? He's like, no, I trust you, man. I'm like, you don't see that shit out here in Philly. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't do that shit out here. That's for sure. But it just taught me people are different everywhere. There's so much to experience, a lot of places to see, a lot of good people out there, you know. So, yeah, like I definitely want to see a lot more places before I can even think about where I would move. But I've thought about different places for sure. So I guess to answer the question, it would be, probably Denver. I think Denver would be pretty cool. Maybe Vegas though. Maybe they have a good scene out there. San Francisco or LA. I want to try it out. Maybe Seattle. Tons of places to visit.
There's a lot.
Chicago too.
Chicago's nice.
Great music city.
Freezing, but nice.
Hey, it's cold. It's pretty cold out here too. So
yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't you tell everyone like how they could see your music or see you? Or
my name is Al Zamora. You could type that up. ALZAMORA. Got a new EP coming out. We're gonna say March, late March. It's gonna be called Unfortunately I. First full-length EP. Super excited. This is years in the making. I'm very excited to share and have everybody, like my man Brett right here, listen to it. So I hope you will listen to it as well. Brett, thanks again for having me.
Look up his music on like Spotify or Apple Music. You're gonna be blown away. It's really good.
And if you need a haircut, come to Red Room. Ask for Al.
Right in Fishtown.
Right in Fishtown.
That's it.
Thank you very much.